hear what you're talking.
What are talking? No one can understand what you both talking about it.
Lord of mercy. Me just want to know if the 15% discount
Testing.
fit true.
Testing. Oh, my main screen don't work.
Hey.
You need a screen work? Oh, there we go. What?
Whoa. Hey.
There we go. That's where that goes. What up, everybody? It's your boy Christ Comix back again for another episode. We're going live to react to Hell's Paradise, episode 777. But in the meantime, I gotta get something set up here real quick. I keep having to fix for technical difficulties. I'm gonna fix for that. For the upcoming week and following weeks, I will no longer be dealing with these technical difficulties. Going forward. That's the rule, and I'm sticking to it. We will no longer be having these technical difficulties. I don't care. I don't care what it takes. My hiccups are atrocious. We will no longer be having these technical difficulties. I refuse to continue to have issues. I am fed up with having issues. I'm just going to tell you guys that right now. I'm fed up with having issues. There's always something going wrong. What's up, Asher? I hope you stick around, my guy. I hope you stick around, my brother. As we are looking to react to episode 7 of Hell's Paradise. And I hope some others get the opportunity to show up. So I'm just giving some time for that opportunity. Look forward to seeing my brothers in here. Asher, it's so good to see you, my brother. So good to see you. So we're going to be doing a couple of things. One of those, again, being that we're going to be reacting to Hell's Paradise. That's part one. The other half is where I am preparing to do a video reacting to or giving my personal perspective on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It seems that What Do You Mean has went on to do a video expressing his point of view, as his personal as well as his Christian point of view when it comes to the movie. And so I look forward to actually, recording my video, posting a response, and hopefully maybe even hearing from him, reacting to my reaction, because normally he does like really short form videos. I'm talking, he'll barely go 10 minutes in the video. And so maybe he'll take an opportunity to check out my content if I tag him. That's one of the things that I'm hoping for and looking forward to. And I'm kind of excited about this. And I'm going to do this every video, just in case, some stragglers come popping in, just in case. Other people come to check this out at a later point in time. But go ahead and making it known to you guys as we are preparing to get started.
Whoa. Hey.
Redbubble. You can find me at Christ Comix on Redbubble, as you can see here. And when you come on this page, this is where you will find my shop, where I have posted my own designed journals. We got the Goku gi, we got the Vegeta armor, and we have the Bulma outfit. We have, as far as Naruto goes, we got the Naruto fit, and then we have the Sasuke fit. Working on the Sakura fit this week, and then we have the Demon Slayer fit, which will be my most difficult project considering all the work that it goes into making Giyu's outfit. And I think I'll be working on a form of Zenitsu's using the Trinity symbol, the famous Trinity symbol, to be a part of that look. And I gotta think of something to come up for Inosuke, but I think that'll be a little difficult. I might go with Nezuko, that way there's a woman one. I always want to incorporate at least one female version, that way the girls have something that they like, although I know a lot of girls like the regular looks as well. So I'm going to be taking advantage of that opportunity to share that with others as they, come across my product, come across the platform, become new followers. So that's something that I want to keep in mind with you guys. I got 6 designs, going to be working on my 7th and 8th. As well as, you don't have to go on here to immediately buy. You can simply go on here and become a follower of my account. That way you can keep up with anything that's new. So go ahead and become a follower. Last thing you need to know that you did not already know, if you buy any 2 of these journals, you will get a third one at 15% off. So any two that you buy is 15% off. So just keep that in mind for the future as you come on this platform to check out this content. Hey, Asher, I hope you're doing well today, though, man. And I want you to know that I appreciate your commitment to this channel. I see that there's 2 others that have come to join us. If you're just now joining us live, please make sure that you drop an emoji in the chat. That way I know that you're here. I can shout you out, and I appreciate your presence here on Christ Comix as we're going live to react to episode 7 of Hell's Paradise. We're going to get this party started, guys. Any opportunity to share the gospel in this anime, I'll definitely be calling it out and pointing out. Anything inappropriate, I will try and skip forward past because I care about everyone's spiritual well-being. So let's get into it. Shout out to Andy Pachow for posting this on YouTube for us to be able to watch. Oh, hey, yo, they're doing too much. Whoa, 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 whoa.
美しいがこんなところでのんきに何を
なぜ人間がここにいる送信は何をしている
I'm gonna let it play. I'm gonna... Dang it, I don't want to pause on there. Alright guys, so if this is a troublesome imagery for you, please let me know. If it is, I will fast forward through it. Again, I do not wish to tempt anybody with this content. So the first thing that I want to premise with this showing up here is that this is to play on Taoism or Taoism. Why is this a play on Taoism? There seems to be a connection to spiritual growth, maturity, and development pertaining to sex. And so that is what ties into this even being in this anime, and other things that you're going to see when it comes to this island is pertaining to, you know, just an imaginary journey that the writer and illustrator has taken with Taoism when incorporating that as being the opposing force within the series of Hell's Paradise. So that is one of the things that's to be brought up. Is it simply, ooh la la, fan service? That's not what this necessarily is, though it's being, you know, illustrated. It's really to tap into an aspect of Taoism or Taoism that a lot of people don't know about, or that they do know about. And so that's why they're bringing this into this. But I almost forgot to do this, so let's make sure I do this.
What up, everybody? It's Christ and Comics, and thank you for joining me here for our CNC Reacts, as we're on YouTube to react to an anime, whether it be music on YouTube, different videos that are being posted on YouTube, and me giving my perspective on those different types of topics. So thank you once again for joining me here. Video, any TV show that I watch, whether it be on Crunchyroll, whether it be on YouTube, whether it be music that I may be playing, I own no rights to this. I am streaming it here. So thank you so very much. That you guys have a blessed one. Peace.
Whoa, 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 hey, 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 hey.
かわいいあなたたちもこっちで一緒にまぐわらない気持ち悪いこと言うなごめんここまで入ってきた人間が珍しくてたくいいとこだったのに萎えさせやがって殺してやる
Yeah, that just happened.
何がいたって不思議じゃない1000人がいるかどうかそこも問題の本質じゃない重要なのはこの島にいる者が味方か敵かそれだけだ
Like I said, they'll expound on some of those details more later. Once they do, we'll talk about it in detail then. Oh, got ourselves a little Nezuko on the scene. Or is that Sakura? She's a little pink hair. Maybe she's Sakura. We'll see.
子供本土の人間かそれとも
いうか、何この盆栽人？化け物の一種でしょうか。ガミワル、
あの娘は島について何か知る。唯一の手がかりかもしれん。捕まえる。
でもそこに化け物が。
No, he dug you for that.
嘘でしょ。
He just threw it right on them.
ガビマルから目を離す。
Got me some bucket of applesauce. Yum yum. Trying to eat healthy.
何をするんですか。だって手の内見せたくないんだもん。これくらいの相手に今のうちに試しておきたくて。化け物にも忍術が通用するかどうか。
You know, I didn't realize how concerning her ability was.
森に慣れているようだな。ならばやはり話を。
Oh! Gabi got dropped.
なんだ今の。子供の細腕でできるゲーターじゃないぞ。
待ってください。あなたに危害を加える気はありません。少し話を聞きたいだけです。よかった。
Womanly
通
wisdom.
じるのね。
Woo! Woo!
この威力、やはり単純な腕力とは別の別種の力。島に来てから不可解なことが多すぎる。この娘も化け物や石像、村ももっとシンプルだったはずだ。戦略を探す。無罪となって妻の元に帰る。
That got me. I didn't see that
人かどうかも
coming.
わからんが、見た目は少女だ。できれば手加減してやりたい。だがこっちも必死でな。そういう
Gotta
感
make
覚
Gabi ill.
忘れてしまいそうだ。
ガミマル。
Oh, that was a nice technique, though.
激務続きでうんざりしていてな。わしは戦略。
You know what I think she just did? I think she just used hockey. I think she just used hockey on him. Now that I think about it, that's a good One Piece reference. Okay. Now, I don't want anyone to trip because I don't want y'all to think that this is just some girl boss power nonsense that is trying to be over, like some woke nonsense, if you will. I'm not a conservative in any regard, in that regard anyway. But like, people take seeing a woman with power as some, whoop, they're trying to insert wokeism into it. No, this is tapping into an aspect of, I guess you could say, the power system of this anime, of this manga series. And so she's one of the people that knows how to tap into it. We're about to see a lot more of that later. So just to kind of ease your minds about that, they weren't just being like, she shouldn't be able to beat him up like that. They're just trying to make a strong girl. La, la, la. Don't lose your minds over that. It's not what's happening.
戦略を探しているだけなんだ。それ以外のことをさせないでくれ。
Aww.
泣いた。
そりゃ泣くでしょ。
どうしたらいい？
とにかく下ろしなさい。
Gabi, you're so ill, bro. They're acting like a husband and wife almost. I've always pondered this the whole
こ
series.
うしてみると。
普通の子ですね。ちょっとどういう状況？なんか和んでない？私めちゃめちゃ働いたんですけど。
で、どうしましょう。これから。戦略のこと聞きたいのだが。
泣き止むまで無理ですね。子供あやすの得意な人は？
どうか。
今。
Oh, he can talk.
どうかその子。
I know, guys. I'm feigning ignorance,
く
but
れ。村まで案内する。戦略の話教える。
お断りね。喋れんのはびっくりだけど、 騙そうとしてるのかもしれないし、その子に聞いた方が安全そう。確かに。
村には食事もある。
別に間に合ってます。
風呂もある。
あいえ。
Really? He caught her with a bath, bro? She weak, bro.
信じても大丈夫でしょうか。得体も知れぬ相手の話を。
この際どんなやつだろうと関係ない。
It's always gotta be a
戦
bath,
略につ
doesn't
いて
there?
知れればな。怪しい動きを見せれば制圧すればいい。
着いたぞ。
He does do a lot to protect that girl, though. Like, he is a very nice little tree guy.
廃村
I
だ。
forgot who he was,
す
but
ごい霧。
I do like that character, real
他
talk.
に誰もいないね。
1000年前まではこうではなかった。
1000年。
家に案内する。
す
Wow.
ごい装飾ですね。すべてが古いがな。本
It's
当
a
に住ん
lot
で
of
いるのか。
culture.
嘘などつかない。
早速聞きたいのだが。
ああ、話なんか後だ。
That girl just want that goddamn bath,
そ
bro.
んな
She
こと
needs
し
to
てる暇
stop.
ないだろ
She's so selfish.
マジの風呂じゃん。
う。なんとかしろあの女。僕は無理です。
Gabby Marley is so annoyed with everything.
こいつもやけに従順だな。
まあまあ、休めるときに休んだ方が賢いって。なんなら一緒に入る。
断る。
硬いわね。サギリンだって入るのに。
リン、あくまで監視のためです。センタとのはやりづらいでしょうし、一時役割を交代しているだけで本来のお役目を忘れては。はあ、いません。ダメだ。ここまでの疲れにこの湯船は抗えない。ずうずうしく押しかけた上にこんな風にくつろぐなんて。
That little girl's so sweet. I'm sorry. I like her so much more than Sakura.
見拭いですか。
I'm only making the Sakura reference because of the pink hair, okay? Look, oh, she's so sweet.
喋れないのかしら。
井戸もあったし器もある。やめとけ。あの化け物の思惑がはっきりしないうちは。そうで
He's
す
so
ね。
mean. We don't know what those monsters are up to. Why they got booty shaped peaches? Like, that is a bit too much booty.
一刻も早く
I'm serious. Don't look, look.
そんなに食いたきゃ食え。
I am not live elsewhere. I am only live here on
あ
YouTube.
の子も食べ。
Shout out to my man. Hold on. I gotta show him his love, brother. I gotta show my man some love. I gotta show my people some love. W Hunt is in the building. What is up, W Hunt? We're only streaming right here on YouTube for this episode. But I gotta ask, man, because
Whoa, whoa, hey.
Like, why does this have to be a butt? That is an entire butt right here. That's a whole butt. Is that not a butt to y'all? I hope that's not like set nobody off, but that looks like a butt to me, and it throws me off a bit. It's too much like a butt. It's not. It's all pink like. That's so weird. Is that not weird? That's so weird.
食べるものだ。
あの娘とはどういう関係だ。
それを話す気はない。
そうか。わしも実は興味ない。戦略のこと以外はな。そろそろ話してもらおうか。この島のことや。戦略はどこにあるのか。
わあ、食べ物じゃん。つうか先に食べる
Everybody's so distracted, but him.
私も食べる。今食べる。
I want to try the peaches. I ain't gonna cap, bro. Those things look
調
good.
子が狂いますね。
I wonder if they taste like peaches
飯を食いに
or
来たんじゃない
strawberries.
人間がどう呼んでるかは知らないが。
Is your phone losing connection there, Dub Hunt? I'm sorry, brother.
神々が住まう神仙境だ。
私の知る神や神仙教のイメージとは随分違う。神とはもっと霊的存在なのでは。
私は島から出たことない。
Yeah, he
そう
fixed
いう
it.
ことはわからない。
本当に不老不死の戦略があるのか。
もちろんある。古からの言い伝えだ。言い伝えではタンと呼ぶ永遠の命の源、その薬だ。
Okay. Okay. Alright, guys, I need to pause there. And I'm not pausing there because there's some gospel message. Again, shout out to W Hunt getting his stuff fixed. My man be on point. But I want to acknowledge, they said that the elixir of immortality, or the elixir of life, is real. It's been a part of their history, been a part of their culture. Again, they're tapping a lot into Taoism on this, or Taoism. I need to do that study so I can be prepared to speak on this in more detail. But the show's going to explain how it works for the series. I will do my best to better have an explanation for how it works per the religious ties specifically versus how the anime may be trying to use it as a power system or use it for the elixir of life. We're going to clarify those aspects. But when it says Tan, that Tan, T-A-N, when it's speaking of that being the core essence of the elixir of life, that is getting into that Taoism or to Taoism. So I just wanted you guys to know and be prepared for like these little things that you're hearing and seeing. This is speaking of a religious practice in some regard, so or religious belief that you're aware of what you're looking at and getting into. I'll have more to speak on that. I'll probably actually do a whole YouTube video dedicated to speaking on Taoism because I do want to do a video dedicated to reviewing Hell's Paradise as a whole and whether or not it's okay for Christians, doing my whole thing. Y'all know how I do on this channel. So I plan on doing that. My man W Hunt says it wouldn't let me catch up in the life. I was behind 2 minutes. Oh, it won't let you catch up in the live. You was behind 2 minutes. I got you. Hey man, that's okay. It seems that the videos do keep y'all behind. I think there's a way that I can set that up with the YouTube system. So I will tap into that and see if there's something I can do about that to make things a little easier. Living waters come from the Holy Spirit. Hey! Don't do it. Don't do it to him, W Hunt. Don't start preaching to him now. You're going to make people get all excited. They're going to be like, well, he's going to be like the woman at the well. Got to eat on my applesauce. Look at her. Don't have people acting like the woman at the well. Where is this water that you have? Where is this water that you speak of?
Oh, whoa, hey.
島は3つの領域に分かれている。海岸や森は英州。この村は北条と呼ばれる領域にある。丹は蓬莱。島の中心の霧の奥にある。
これはいきなり有力情報ですよ。
森探すの意味なかったじゃん。っていうかみかんでもない。
妻の元に帰れる。
Now he can rest. He can finally take a good breath.
実物を見たことがあるのか。いや、そもそもその話がデタラメでないという証拠は。
いずれお前たちも会うだろう。彼らを知れば疑う余地もなくなる。天仙様に会えば。
I like the audio switch up.
死なず老いず永遠に美しい完璧な存在。ここに来るまで送信を退けてきたのだろうが、天仙様は格が違う。何者も叶いはしない。なぜこうまで従順にお前たちを迎え入れるのか、素直に話すのか、不思議思っていたな。せめてもの憐れみだ。それが最後の望みとなるだろうから。上陸した人間はいずれ皆死ぬ。天仙様が誰も返さない。
Oh dang, he got him by the leg.
皆死ぬとはどういう意味だ。
やっぱ私たちを騙してるわけ？
お前たちには好意も敵意もない。事実を言っただけ。島の侵入者は皆天仙様に殺される。
その天仙様とは何者なんだ。
この島で最も偉いお方だ。送信を従えて罪深い者は罰する。特に島に上陸する人間はな。だが心配するな。罰を受ける人間はただ死ぬのではない。美しい花に生まれ変わる。罪や俗から解放され 永遠の至福を得る。そうして花となった命が単の源となる。
あくまで言い伝えでしょ。額面通りには受け取れないわね。
不老不死の戦薬は実在する。私も恩恵の一部を受けている。
再生した。
先ほども1000年生きていると言っていましたが、
その娘も同じなのか。
刀で人を刺さない。
え？
うわ、引くわ。
Come on, Gabimaru, you're so insensitive.
信じようと信じまいと、ここは信。
Okay. So they clarified another piece that just to make sure that you guys understand what's happening. So the people who die on this island become the source of what they call Ten. Their life force is converted to the energy that powers the Tenzin, which is the guy that beat the crap out of those other two, Bakugo and his brother. They threw him into that pit. And thus, when they're in that pit, they are made into those flower things and converted into Tenzin, or converted into Ten using their life force energy to power the other people. So Ten is the life force of others to become the eternal life force of, another person. And in turn, as you can see, this tree person even gets to harness that power on some level. But it's going to explain more on the details of Tan, but that is one aspect of Tan that is prevalent in the show right off the bat. The elixir of life is the life force of others being gathered so that these Tenzin can live forever and harness other abilities and powers, as we can see.
Whoa, whoa, hey, 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 hey!
立ち入った人間がどうなるかは神の意志。島を出るのも容易ではないだろう。
風呂にまでついてくる気？
センタ殿が変わってくれなかったので。
まあ傷口は洗うだけでしか構わないけど、気が緩んでいられるよりはいいし。
緩んでません。
さっきは緩んでた。風呂上がりで一瞬眠そうにしてたろ。
してません。
してた。
しつこ
い。島は三層構造である。戦薬は中心の層、蓬莱にある。戦薬は天仙様が守っている。新しい情報は増えたが、どれも断片的だ。
彼らの話は信用できるでしょうか。
私の名は宝庫。この子はメイだ。島で生まれ、島で育った。数百年もの間。この先も静かに暮らしたいだけだ。邪魔はするな。
嘘とは思いませんが、話のすべてを鵜呑みにもできません。特に
天仙様ってやつか。
天仙様とは大陸の神仙思想で確かより上位の仙人を指す言葉です。送信や蓬莱というのもあちらの東京の由来の言葉だと思います。
まあ謎解きは後回しでいい。重要なのは戦薬入手にとって障害か否か。
I wonder if Tenzin were prevalent in the Jackie Chan Adventures TV show, because we saw where they were using the yin yang symbol and then they had the things around it. That was like in reference to the Shinron. Was it Shinron? Was that Shinron? That stone dragon guy that wanted all the stones so he could get his powers back, and then we were introduced to his siblings and the later show and all of them. Yeah, that was based off of all of them. And they had to keep getting resealed. If y'all don't remember that from Jackie Chan Adventures was a great show, man. That show was great from beginning to end. I don't think there was any issues with that. That show was really good. But I wonder if they were in that show. I gotta look up Tenzin.
余計なことには極力関わりたくない。
Hey Mario, you're so insensitive.
ちょっと何してるんですか。
何って傷口を洗うって言ったろ。
この子が入ってるじゃないですか。
別に構わんだろ。 里じゃ老若男女区別なく一つの風呂だったぞ。家風呂のある里の長以外は。風呂の作法など気にしてる場合か。
よく見れば髪も肌もボロボロ。入浴の設備も揃っているのに使われていない。親のように使い方を教える者がいないのかしら。既存の備品を活用し江戸の湯屋を再現しました。両者が入浴に専念できるようここは私が取り仕切らせていただきます。
何の意味があるんだ。
She's so motherly. I love it.
一宿一般の恩がある。
I love this because although I don't think this is the, how you say, motivation behind this whole girl boss era of get that money, get that high paying job no matter what that job is, no one's going to stop you, I don't need no man to pay for nothing energy. You know, we have Sagiri stepping up into the, like, into a male role during this time, becoming a samurai. It's not normally what women would do. And so that's why she's the only one in her clan that is a woman samurai. At the same time, she can set aside that masculinity aspect of that where she has to be very masculine to be respected and appreciated for her skills, to be feminine in the instance of there's a child here, need to protect this child, this man's being naked before her and not respecting etiquette, stop that. And now there's a child that doesn't have parents or an adult to care for her or to I guess you could say mother her through bathing and using what it needs to properly clean herself, and she's stepping into that, and I think that's beautiful to see her operate in both regards. It really actually shows her to be a much stronger character than some of the other ones, in my opinion. So I really like that that's a part of her character. I don't recall that when I was reading the manga, so it's really, very good to see it here in the anime.
それにあなたも張り詰めすぎです。休めるときは休むべきかと。体を洗うならそれを使いなさい。湯あみは散々親に手伝わされたので得意なんです。これは灰と椿の油かす。少量ですが本土より持参しました。これで先発します。ほら、綺麗になった。傷を消すことは私にはできませんが、気分転換にはなったでしょ。
何やってんだ、お主ら。まったく、考えるべきことは山ほどあるというのに、大体その娘だって。
あなたは張り詰めすぎです。過酷な状況こそこうして休息はしっかり取らないと。
そういうもんかな。
そういうもんです。それに夫婦なんですから、お背中流すのにいちいち照れてどうするのですか。
そういうもんかな。
そういうもんです。
照れてるわけじゃない。苦手なんだ、風呂。緊張や戦の勘が湯に溶けていくようで。
私がご分を注いでいると？
そういう意味ではない。
あなたは張り詰めすぎです。休めるときはしっかり休まないと、本当の戦いの前に倒れてしまいます。
本当の戦い？何か控えていたか、大仕事が。
いいえ、人生という名の戦いです。平穏に、まっとうに、己の信念に寄り添いながら、時に差を差し、時に隠し、それでも決して手綱は離さない。川中島だって目じゃない。長い長い人生という名の戦です。大将はあなたですが、軍師は私。休めというのも戦略的助言です。
わかった。
Yes! Yes! They are eating right now. I'm telling you. Oh, there's so much nonsense coming forward in the anime that I hope they verify to not be the case, because my heart will break if that's the case. This woman is the hit him. of a magnificent and wonderful when she harnesses the power of a woman, especially during this time where women don't have an opportunity to always be elevated or successful or respected, but they are still strong, they are still wise, they are still capable. And she's just said something that's so powerful that I think needs to be highlighted more today when we're talking about relationships. She said, "You're the general, but I'm the strategist, and I'm giving you advice." I was just like, oh snap! Oh snap! That is one of the beautiful things. I'm not saying traditional, but on your average marriage or your average primarily marriage, but your average marriage, that's what you will have. You will have where the man is the one that's probably making the income. That's the guy that's going out and doing work and trying to figure things out, fixing problems, all of this and all of that. But one of the things that men end up making the mistake of doing is pushing themselves too hard, working too much, not having time for the family, not having time for the wife, not taking care of themselves, which what hinders them from being able to actually pay attention to their wife and pay attention to their kids and genuinely pay attention to the home, which is really the biggest mistake that you can make, no matter how much money you make or no matter how much difference you're making in everyone else's lives. When you allow the household to fall, that is your biggest mistake. I'm a living testimony of that. In my own life, I played a part in that in my current situation, and so I know that right well. And seeing how she is trying to get him to see that, that's actually tearing at my heartstrings in another way. But seeing that she's pointing that out for him, she's like, "You're stretching yourself too thin. You need to be able to rest in between. I am a comfortable place for you to be able to rest, and I am not limiting you from being a great warrior. I'm here to help you." And why is this significant that he keeps coming back to these things? And it's because all too often in anime, we are too used to, once a person realizes a thing, they're never going to have an issue with it ever again. But Gabimaru instead wrestles with this balance of, I got to get this elixir of life so that I can go and be pardoned and be with my wife. But to be able to do that on this island, I have to become that monster that I promised her I would no longer be. And so he's wrestling with that balance, and oftentimes the words of his wife that has motivated him to be better when he's being reckless come to his heart and his mind, thanks to Sagiri a lot of times, so that he is, now he's able to work on that just a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. But it's the environment that's challenging maintaining that new form or that new life, which is oftentimes what us as Christians struggle with when it comes to walking out a life in Christ. We probably get so caught up with one, having to work, two, having to live, provide, make money, make a difference in our own lives, and just on a standard basis, just as a human being. And then we get into the spiritual aspect, and we're so drained from our daily life that we don't make time or have time for our faith and for developing ourselves spiritually. Again, wearing ourselves too thin, and that's we're not taking care of the areas that should be of most importance: wife, family, home, faith, our relationship with God, fellowship with the church. Not fellowship with the church. You need to be working here versus working at your main job. Is not what I mean. That iron sharpening iron. That hey guys, I'm going through this and going through that. Can I just talk about the word with you? There's an atmospheric relief that a lot of us in the body of Christ get when we come together in fellowship and just be able to, just be believers together. This past Wednesday was a blessing because I was just witnessing all the people that came for Bible study just talk. They weren't just like, oh, we're here for Bible study, sit in silence. They just conversing and sharing with one another and loving on one another. And that was beautiful and enriching. And we need more of that versus stretching ourselves too thin. But we often end up like Gabimaru. Stretching ourselves so thin that we lose sight of that which transformed us and changed us in the first place. And though it is yet still present and working and keeping us, we're exhausting it in some sense. Not saying we can ever exhaust the Holy Ghost, but we're not doing things to keep ourselves in touch with it, if you will, in communication with it, and in fellowship with the Holy Ghost that is within us. So that's another thing. This whole thing just holds so much me. I love his wife so very much. She's my favorite. Her and Sagiri. The women in this show are eating. Don't get me wrong. We're not getting on that woke stuff. Just calm down. Don't lose your mind over the woke stuff. Just cherish these moments, guys. Cherish these moments.
Oh, whoa, hey.
だ湯船。もう十分綺麗になったしよかろう。
猫みたい。明日からは二人暮らし。もう父の屋敷の風呂は使えませんよ。
いい。大将としてわしも戦略的下知をいいか。
あら、なんなりと。
髪で傷を隠すな。なんかいろいろあるのかもしれんが、わしは気にせん。君はそんなことする必要ない。
いえ、これは単にお気に入りの髪型でございます。
そうなの？
ですが、大将がそう仰せならば、そうします。ありがとう。
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
娘、傷を恥じているならそんなもの気にするな。
女性はそうもいかない時があります。
そんなことない。わしは大きな傷を持つ女性を知っているが、その人は誰よりも美しい。外見など全く大したことじゃない。なんだその顔。
いえ、あまりに真っ当なので面食らいまして。本来の彼は悪人ではないのかもしれない。そう考えている自分がいる。少しずつだけど彼も変わり始めているのでは。
息抜きができたのか。冷静に思い出した。当初の気持ちを。何を優先すべきかを。油を売っている暇などないと改めて思い出した。
That was a pretty good episode, guys. What do y'all think? I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I really, really hope that y'all enjoyed that. Yo, I want to check this video out while we're live when it finally goes up with this with Ruslan. He says, this is so bad, it needs to be addressed. I told you guys I like going through and, you know, speaking on the influencers that I respect here on social media. I still, even though he, you know, he's in that bad place with his, even though he was in that bad place with his discussion when it came to, I'm sorry, with his preaching when it came to Tim Ross talking about the whole stripper thing. You know, there's only one stripper, and that stripper's name is Jesus, and how that put us in a bad place. And so, you know, I still recommend Tim Ross. Check him out on The Basement. The conversations are entirely different than his preaching messages. At least when he's having those conversations, I think there's something that we can be blessed with from those. So I encourage you guys to check him out. But definitely when 4 o'clock hits, we're going to check this out as well. So thank you guys so much. One of the things that I wanted to point out in regards to episode 7 of Hell's Paradise, that being this pursuit of the elixir of life. Again, shout out to W. Hunt because he made this evident. Is the ties to man seeking immortality in so many different ways, and one of those ways being, you know, the fountain of youth, elixir of life, this, that, and the third, the living water, all of this. When Jesus Christ was actually able to prescribe that, you know, when in prescribing that in the way that of that being that fountain of living water, and that being able to be planted within us when we receive Him, and it's not something that we have to go out and search. We don't have to go to an island with, you know, destructive and deadly monsters, or be poisoned by these plants that will take us into this blissful place, but we're slowly dying because it's sapping us of our life force. We don't have to go through that to have that fountain of living water dwell within our vessel. God, aka Jesus Christ, comes to live within us, giving us that living water, and we don't have to go searching for some elixir of life. And again, that kind of reflects in the character of Gabimaru. Gabimaru don't need immortality. It's all these other people that are looking for it, who are too lazy, cowardly, or greedy, and jealous, and all of these other things that want this elixir of life, that have sick intentions of getting their hands on it. He simply wants to have that life with his wife versus having the things of this world that the world has to offer. All I want is my true love. And that's what we can seek out with Christ. That's what we identify. We're similar to Gabimaru in that regard. I don't care about the riches of this world. I can do what I need to do when it comes to having to deal with the quote-unquote riches of this world, but I know all those things are going to pass away. But the main thing that I will need to hold tight to is that which I have with Jesus. And so that right there is a beautiful thing, in my opinion, about that episode when it comes to talking about the elixir of life and Tan. Now, again, I told you guys I wanted to take a moment to look at his reaction. I already checked it out. I wanted to check it out with you all versus doing it by myself.
Whoa, hey.
What do you mean? What do you mean is another Christian content creator that I respect as well, who does very short form videos to speak to things that are going on in today, or shows that he watches, or news reports and things like that. He barely ever does videos going up to 10 minutes even. So you really get quick and easy, and they're always information filled. He's not simple. He knows how to say a lot in a short period of time, so he keeps you engaged, as well as keeping the gospel incorporated in every single thing that he posts. One of the other videos that I highly recommend y'all go check out is he did an interview with the minister who supposedly, and I'm actually leaning towards believing this, who led Jeffrey Dahmer to Christ, taught Jeffrey Dahmer about Christ up until the point of his death. And so he has that conversation, and you get insight as to the perspective that the minister holds when it comes to Jeffrey Dahmer, him learning about Christ. So that is a very good, very powerful conversation. I highly recommend you go check that out. But we're going to check out his video in regards to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. He beat me to it, talking about it from a Christian's point of view. Let's look at it.
All right, so it looks like the new Marvel movie just dropped, and we got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. Now, as usual, I won't be covering anything that you can't get from reading about it or from the trailers, so you don't have to worry about any spoilers. So for those of you that aren't aware, this is the third and the final installment of the Guardians of the Galaxy. The movie is about a group of heroes who fought alongside of the Avengers to protect the galaxy from intergalactic threats when the group is challenged by the villain, whose name is High Evolutionary. High Evolutionary is on a quest to create the perfect society, no matter the destruction that it brings. If you've seen the other Marvel movies, this film picks up after Endgame, where the Gamora that they knew is gone, and features a Gamora who's come back to life with no memory of her relationship with Peter Quill. With Peter still reeling from the loss of Gamora, we find that the Guardians look different these days, but must rally to defend the universe along with protecting one of their own. So with that out of the way, first I'm going to give my thoughts on the film personally, and then from a Christian perspective. So when it comes to the actual film itself, I was actually very pleasantly surprised with how good it was, especially with how, let's just say, how inconsistent Marvel has been in its latest phase.
Agreed! I still haven't seen this movie yet, and I feel like it's gonna be garbage.
It feels like ever since Avengers Endgame happened, Marvel has really struggled to find its footing, but this really showed a return to form in my personal opinion. But the writing and the visual effects in this movie were done really well. I think that the visuals really helped to take the story forward in a way that wouldn't be possible to do without them. I thought the film captured a really good tone that struck a balance between its humorous and its serious moments, which is great because in recent years, I think that Marvel has been a little oversaturated with all of the quips and the one-liners, and while I'm a fan of this humor, after a while it starts to feel a little forced. This movie, however, had a great amount of emotional depth that still had lighthearted moments, but also allowed time for the film to breathe and really let the more somber parts of the film seek in when needed, especially when it comes to Rocket's story, which to me was the highlight of the story. After almost 10 years shrouded in mystery, we finally got to learn of Rocket Raccoon's tragic backstory, and I think they really nailed it on this one. I personally think that it really served as the heart and soul of this movie, and apart from Bradley Cooper's vocal performance, the visual effects really allowed the emotion from his performance to really shine. I actually never thought I'd find myself feeling so sad for an animated raccoon.
Don't call me a raccoon! I'm sorry. I took it too far. I meant trash panda.
Is that better?
It's worse. It's so much worse.
but they definitely managed to pull it off. And also, in case you're wondering, the action in this movie was great, if that's something that you're a fan of. And now to what I disliked. With so many positive things about the movie, the only negative thing that I really have to say about the film is that it really does test the limits of PG-13, so you should probably exercise some caution before letting younger viewers and family go to see it. While there's not very much sexual innuendo, it does have a lot of violence and imagery that might not be suitable for children. Even for a Marvel movie, James Gunn added a lot more carnage with the depiction of animal cruelty, some gruesome injuries and deaths, planetary destruction, and more.
And we'll kill anyone who gets in our way.
No, not kill anyone.
Kill a few people.
Kill no people.
Kill one guy, one stupid guy who no one loves.
Now you're just making it sad.
This was definitely a more violent movie than usual, so definitely keep that in mind if you're choosing to see this movie with your family. Alright, so now that I've given my personal thoughts on the film's production, let's go ahead and talk about the film from a Christian perspective. So, as I noted before, there was a lot covered in this film, especially thematically. From accepting the loss of relationship.
Fair warning, again, he's not giving spoilers, but this is the meat of it, because when we're talking about us as Christians watching stuff, the world's not considered with entertaining Christians or pleasing Christians when they make content. But the content that they do make oftentimes will always reference us in some way, shape, or form. Is that good reference? Is that a bad reference? Is it something that we can sit back and enjoy even though it's there? Or is it something that we should stay away from? Let's see how What Do You Meme answers that.
To loyalty and sacrifice and not giving up. There's a lot here. But the thing that I found most striking was the villain, otherwise known as the High Evolutionary. Throughout the film, we see him solely focused on a desire to create a perfect utopian society full of his own creatures that he desires to be perfect. We see his obsession continuing to grow all the way until we get to the point of him yelling, "There is no God," and that he needs to step in to usher in a new era of perfection. Now, while I'm glad that the movie did such a good job in showing just how bad of an idea it is to play God, something deeper also resonated with me as I watched it. It was the fact that, as Rocket even pointed out in the movie, the root of this man's obsession wasn't so much a pursuit of perfection for perfection's sake, but instead from a hatred of imperfection. This movie does a great job in showing just how disposable and worthless the High Evolutionary considered people that were imperfect. And as I watched the movie, it made me think of just how easy it is for someone even like me to dismiss those that don't meet my subconscious standards of perfection that I might have for them. I think that we all face the temptation to sometimes not treat people that well simply because they're not living perfectly or the way that we want them to. But the reality is, of course, none of us are perfect. In the history of the world, there's only been one who's truly perfect, and that was God in human flesh, Jesus of Nazareth. And unlike the High Evolutionary, even in God's perfection, God still loves us in our imperfection, so much that he took on human flesh, lived the perfect life that we couldn't, and died in our place for our sins and our imperfections. The ultimate sacrifice, the perfect for the imperfect, which none of us deserve. As Paul says, very rarely will anyone die for a righteous person. Though for a good person, someone might dare to die. But God demonstrates his own love for us in this. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Now, unlike the villain in this movie, God values us even in the midst of our imperfections to the point of the bloodshed on the cross. And when I really take the time to reflect on the fact that the perfect God of the universe loved me in my own imperfection, it makes it a lot harder for me to be unloving toward others who fall short of whatever standards that I have for them.
Getting in my
the
wheelhouse,
fact is,
what do
you
you
can
mean?
forgive much once you understand how much you've been forgiven. So if you choose to go watch this movie, I hope that you'll spend some time reflecting on how the perfect lovingly sacrificed for us, the imperfect. So overall, I think that this movie was a return to form for the Marvel Cinematic Universe after a rocky stage 4, and I think that it was a perfect finale for the Guardians franchise. So if you've seen it, what did you think? Go ahead and let me know down below in the comments, but the next time that we forget to show grace to others that are imperfect, what are you gonna say? What do you mean?
What do you mean be on point with his content, man? But I'm telling you guys, he ate that up. He was absolutely right. Absolutely right. I hope this does not go to this video, but goes to where, thank you, because I can't wait for that to start at 7 or start at 4. But absolutely, I am in 100% agreement with what do you mean? Because you know, him tapping into that aspect. I'm gonna do my own video. And what do you mean? If you either get to check this video out, or you get to check out my actual reaction, I would love to hear from you. And who knows? Maybe even talk more with you about this type of thing would be an amazing. If we get on a Zoom call and talk about stuff like this, oh, that'd be amazing. If I could just if I could get on with Tim Ross, Ruslan, what do you mean, or any one of them to really express these deep recesses of content, and how we balance crossing that line, or how we balance getting into that line, that would be awesome. I'm actually surprised we didn't hear from What Do You Mean on Tim Ross's, stripper comment, but I guess that might be out of respect for Ruslan, who has a friendship with Tim Ross, and that's probably also why Alan Parr hasn't addressed it as well, which is one of the surprising things that I noticed in regards to that. That's neither here nor there, though. But guys, definitely, I will be definitely tapping into that and speaking to definitely speaking to this movie. But he is right to see the high evolutionary try to step into this role of, since there's no God, I will be the one to usher in this new era of perfect beings, so I can't actually make perfect beings, so I'll keep destroying and recreating and destroying and recreating because I hate what I've already created, but not even taking ownership of that. It's, you're just inferior, destroy you. And so that's just so sad, and that's just so pathetic, and so that's one of those things that I look forward to breaking down myself. I think What Do You Mean did very well in isolating his identification of that character of the high evolutionary and his opinion on the movie, because in fact the movie was great, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. I'm trying to wait till 4 because I really want to see Ruslan on this upcoming video. I don't know how long it's going to be. It shouldn't be too long. I want to thank W Hunt as well as Dwayne Ash for tuning in here as we are live here on YouTube, guys. Thank you so much.
Whoa, hey.
I want to give me one of those and put that on here. I think I'm going to get me one of those sounds and use that. I need one of those versus just the, you know what I'm saying, or the, I need something different. I don't know if those audios actually work. They should be working. Hold on, let me see. Let me try it. Hold on. I hope that's playing. Can y'all hear that audio? When I play that audio, can y'all hear that? Let me know if y'all can hear those meme audio sounds. I tried to have those set up so that when I just have those funny moments, I could just tap in and do it that way. But ain't no telling if that actually worked. There's already 10 people waiting. Let's see if we can get in on this. Four more minutes. This is the production quality, though, that I want my channel to eventually have. This is the production quality I want my channel to eventually have. Oh, y'all gotta check this out. Y'all gotta watch this. Y'all probably have already seen this. And if you're not caught up to Demon Slayer, forgive me in advance. But this moment right here is spiritual warfare. Watch it. This is like my favorite moment in anime right now. Let me do it from the beginning. This is like the best. This man be clean with it. One-handed. You know how quick you got. That filthy score of yours. Yo, you know how built different you have to be to fight with one hand and do better than you did the whole entire fight? boy coming in the clutch. You know how built this will be? Hold on, I got mine. Just built different, man. Making sure he gets it. And my boy Zenitsu coming into the clutch. Look, y'all don't be respecting Zenitsu. When Zenitsu fight, he does everything one-handed. He's not using two hands. Let's go! We did it. My man can't breathe. My man can't breathe. Run! That man got way too much power, bro. That man got way too much power. I'm telling you, man. That's like my favorite anime moment right now. Tank, when he came through. Is this the one that he was starting just now? No, this is the Blessed God Studios. This ain't it. Oh no, he premiering right now. Okay, word. Wait, no! Damn it. I wanted this one. Alright, we got 48 seconds. It's such a vibe, yo.
Why so many people stay stuck, stay addicted, stay at terrible jobs, stay in abusive relationships, and what you can do about it to unlock progression in your life. I don't care if you're a Christian. I don't care if you're not a Christian. This is going to be one of the most practical videos I've ever put together. And it's so interesting because I see this stuff everywhere, and I think it could be so damaging.
I don't think he's live,
but it's so obvious if you really consider it, okay? And the hope here is if you are in a really bad place, if you're in a really, 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 really dark place, you might be at an advantage, okay? So you make sure you watch to the end of this video. Give me 1 second. Okay, so check this out. This video is a very great summary of this, and then I'm going to give you guys another resource. This is called Why We Get Stuck in Not So Bad Situation. The Region Beta Paradox. Listen up.
Yourself stuck in an unfulfilling job or a relationship that you wanted to leave but for some reason didn't. Perhaps you found yourself thinking it's not that bad or could be worse. Why is it that we only act to improve things once they reach a particular threshold of badness? Psychologist Daniel Gilbert coined the term region beta paradox to explain why we're sometimes better off when we're worse off. Take the example of a commuter who decides to walk to places if they're within a mile of her location and to cycle to more distant places. Since cycling is faster, the commuter will reach some distant locations earlier than she could have walked to closer locations. In effect, she's better off in the worst situation of having to travel further. Just as commuters take steps to speed their journeys when their destinations are further away, injured people are more likely to take steps to speed their recoveries when their injuries are more severe.
So did you guys catch that? If you have a mile walk somewhere versus a 2-mile walk, you're more likely to use a car to go 2 miles than you are to go 1 mile, meaning that you will get to the destination that's 2 miles ahead faster than you will the destination 1 mile ahead, because you'll be more efficient and use the tool at your disposal to get there faster. So this is true with injury recovery. Now this is the part that's really dark, okay? And this is a lot of us right now that you guys are dealing with. Check this out.
Change things. Consider the story of the frog in a pot. If you put the frog into already boiling water, it'll immediately jump out. But if you gradually warm the water, the frog will slowly boil to death. Ironically, this myth may be more true of humans than frogs. If you're dissatisfied with your job but not experiencing intense distress, you may be less motivated to make changes to your work situation or to look for a new job. But like the frog, if your job isn't right for you, it can slowly impact your mental and physical health without you realizing. As Mark Howell Winston said,
"You're okay, W. Hunt. I'm not mad at you, brother.
The same
Get that
applies
rest
to
where you can."
personal relationships. If you're in a mediocre relationship, then you might be less likely.
Okay, and now let me juxtapose this with something that Chris Williamson said. He echoed this on the Joe Rogan podcast. Check this out. He literally points out the same exact comfortable complacency paradox. Okay, this is called the region beta paradox. Listen up.
This chasm of comfortable complacency that a lot of people are caught in at the moment. So I learned about this idea called the region beta paradox, right? So the region beta paradox, imagine that if you were to go a mile or less, you would walk it. And if you were to go more than a mile, you would drive it. Paradoxically, you would go 2 miles quicker than you would go 1 mile. So that means that sometimes worse situations can be better than better situations.
Sometimes worse situations can be better than better situations. My English teacher in high school, his name was Tamburino, he always used to tell me, people only change if they're hurt or scared. People only change if they're hurt or scared. A lot of you are in a comfortable complacency because you're like, a little bit of Jesus is better than no Jesus. I got a little bit of porn, but I mean, I hate my job, but it's not that much. I'm in this relationship that's kind of toxic, but like, I don't know if I could find anybody better. And it's this complacency that keeps us stuck. And if you're in a worse situation, if you're on the verge of being homeless, if you're in a like my life is going to fall apart if I don't stop looking at corn. I'm going to lose my marriage. I'm not 10 pounds, 15 pounds overweight. I'm 70 pounds overweight. And the doctor tells me if I don't change this aspect about myself, I am going to cut decades off my life. Hey, did you know that you can watch videos like this on the Spotify app?
What's Zach
we now
doing eating
are on
in the background,
Spotify
bro?
under Ruslan Bless God Podcast. So if you're driving and you want to go back and forth between listening to the podcast and just the audio or watching the video, consider doing it now on the Spotify app as well as all podcast platforms. All right, I'll see you over there.
And this is an issue when if you only decide to act after you cross a certain threshold of badness or whatever, you can end up being stuck in region beta. So for instance, the friend that should leave his job really needs to leave his job, but it's just about passable. His boss isn't that much of a dick. Maybe the benefits are okay or whatever. Or the person that's in a relationship with someone that they really don't want to stay with, and it's not that brilliant, but it's not that bad. They don't abuse them. Everything's okay. The person that stays in an apartment that's got some mold on the ceiling, but it's not too much mold and whatever. All of these people would be better off if their situations were worse, because it would galvanize them into actually doing something. You understand what I mean? You can get stuck in this chasm of comfortable complacency that sits somewhere in the middle.
This is
If
a
things
good
are good,
conversation.
great, no problem. If things are bad, great. Activation energy to go and make them good. If things are just about passable, you end up being comfortably numb.
That gave me goosebumps. Holy moly. A lot of us are comfortably numb. A lot of you are comfortably numb. And you don't get the breakthrough because it's not bad enough yet. It's not bad enough yet. And if you think about whatever mountain you feel like you're facing right now, whatever that mountain, I want to stop looking at corn. I want to fix my marriage. I got to fix my career. I got to figure out a way to earn more money. If you think about it, I need to lose weight. I need to get in better shape. If you think about it, and the life of someone you loved depended on you making that change. Think of that. Think of that person. Think of that. Maybe it's your kid. Maybe it's a brother or sister. Maybe it's your mom. And the life of that person depended on you and me figuring out how to make that change, which oftentimes that change is connected to your purpose in this season. And if you make that change, it can trickle a bunch of other little changes. If you can figure out, if that person's life depended on you making that change, I bet you would figure it out. If your marriage or your health or the life of your loved one depended on you figuring out how to stop looking at corn, or figuring out how to stop, how to earn more money, how to make a pivot in your career, you would figure it out. It's just not bad enough yet. And here's the deal. Your life probably depends on you making that change you need to make. Your life probably depends on that change you need to make. whether it's losing weight, figuring out more useful skills so you can pivot, whether it's stop looking at corn so it doesn't shipwreck your marriage or cause you to do something worse, shipwreck your life, go to jail potentially. Like, you can choose to sin. You can't choose the consequence, guys. You could choose to sin.
That's real. You can choose to sin, but you can't choose the consequences.
Gospel, in comparison to God's standards, holy moly, you're way worse than you think you are. Jesus said, you who are evil know how to give good gifts. You who are evil know how to do some good things. Romans says we're at enmity with God.
Yo, I think the video's almost coming to an end. I'm not exactly sure. But he's pointed out something that we need to talk about. He made something very clear. So he's been talking about what? The region beta paradox, where, in simple terms, when you are in a place where it's not as bad as it could be, and you look at your situation from that perspective, that's one thing that's very clear about this. When you measure your problems, well, it could be worse. So I could either do that later, or I could fix that later, or it's not of major concern right now. When you look at things like that, you're hesitant to do things in a better fashion, to make better decisions, to make things work and function better, because you feel as though you are acting as though you have the time to pass, or you're just okay in the current position that you are. And so you're not seeing how where you are right now is not the actual worst that it is. That is the, I don't know if he's going to actually clear that up here in a second, but that's the actual worst. The worst is where you are right now. The worst isn't when it gets worse. The worst is where you are right now, because where you are right now is not where you could have been had you done things different, right? So you're already at your worst. And here's where he magnified that in what he just said. When it comes to Christ, what Christ reveals about sin and its effects on us and its impact, what Christ reveals is that it's worse than you realize. Because God's not counting it when you did something as sin. God's not counting it when you hurt someone. God's not counting it when it hits the worst that you're thinking that's what your situation could be. God's not waiting on it to get worse before he counts as, what you've been doing in sin. It's when you thought it. It's when you settled in it. It's when you felt it and did nothing to stop it. It's when it crossed your mind. It's when sin begins to attempt to root itself. That is the worst. And when you give your life to Christ, and this is going to be the real power of conviction, and I'm probably going to say a huge prayer when I'm going to get off here. This is the real conviction. The real conviction hits when you realize not all sin, not simply all sin, because we already see all sin as sin, and it's not of God, and the wages of sin is death, and God hates this and God hates that, and we've studied on the consequences of different sins. Sure, but when you look at your sins, and instead of measuring your sins, but you're instead seeing it the way Christ has spoken of it. You're seeing it the way that the Holy Ghost is convicting you of it. When you begin to see it when you begin to see the truth of what that actually is, how bad it actually is, you then you can really begin to plant those feet and make those moves that will change your life. That's why I began and made my platform so that I can be selling Christian anime journals. That's why I have denied opportunities to simply make more money, but instead dedicate my time and my energy towards that which I would love to do to be able to make a profit out of my life. And that is talking about the gospel through anime and other media, and pointing out these other social media influencers who are already doing that and encouraging people to tune into them, doing Bible studies, looking at the Bible from a deeper perspective, to build on all of those things already. That is why I do this. That's why I'm doing this, because I already Oh, dude, absolutely, W Hunt. I agree. It's rocking me. I didn't expect it to rock me. I'm just like, oh, he just found a new study. Okay, cool. Let's see what this is. And now the study is just like smack me in the face. I just got beat up. I just got beat up, man. I'm just getting smacked around by this. But like, you know, I made the mistake of what he's talking about here. I think I'm going to go ahead and be black and white. So I'm going to be very black and white because I'm still wrestling with this, and I'm praying that this moment is what really... Heck of an echo. I hear you. Okay, let me see if I can't fix the echo. There's another mic on, I think. There's mic 1. No, there's only one mic. Oh, there we go. That should fix it. That should fix it. You shouldn't hear an echo now. I don't know how that came on. But, I'm going to be black and white. I'm going to be very open here in this moment because I haven't told the whole story. As you all know, some of you may know, I'm going through a divorce right now myself. And though the actions in real time are not what brought us to this current point. So, although the actions in real time are what brought us to this current point. As he said, you have free choice of what sins that you do, but you don't have control over the consequences of your sin. As much as the world tries to control the consequences. I have had and still do have wrestled with, pornography. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And when my marriage was, I guess you could say, good at the time, I had a dream. And the dream was that my wife caught me and asked, and after catching me, she wanted a divorce. She told my mom she wanted a divorce, and she left me. Now, I had this dream almost 2 or 3 years ago. And the dream told me my corn addiction would lead to a divorce. I could say, well, it wasn't the corn because, like I said, the real-time circumstances that took place are what led to the divorce. But like Ruslan just said, you have free choice of sin, but you don't have choice of the consequences. Those were the consequences of my sins. Because I didn't do enough to address the problem. I was just like, and then when I looked at everything in real time, I was like, well, it's not as bad as it could be. It's not hindering me in these subtle ways, the ways that I considered of value, if you will, of most importance. Wasn't hindering these, so I guess everything's fine. And I continued in that way. And like I said, just being honest with you guys, I yet still struggle. And so, though it's not the direct cause, in the spiritual sense, it was the cause. And so, yeah, this speaking volumes. I'll let Rusi finish, but I hope he don't mind. I don't know if Ruslan's ever going to see this, but I hope he don't mind me calling him Rusi.
Whoa, whoa, hey.
When Ephesians 2 says that we are children of wrath. When you look at the gospel, it actually goes, it's worse than you think it is. And that's why Jesus had to come on the cross. Mm-hmm. But it's better than it could ever be in any other system because God gives you a new heart and new desires. You want me to prove it to you? Watch this. Dear friends, you always followed my instructions when I was with you, and now that I am away, it is even more important. Work hard to show the results of your salvation, obeying God with deep reverence and fear. Now this is the unlock. It's better than you think it is. Why? Because it is God working in you, giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases him.
Hey, you want to see something kind of crazy? Over 75% of the people that watch this channel are not subscribed. Please consider subscribing and turning your bell notification on so that you don't miss anything we have going here.
God is working in you. The Holy Spirit lives in you, giving you the desire and the power to do what pleases him. I think this is a crazy thought, but I think Christians Followers of Jesus are at an advantage because while the world is numb, while the world is doing their own thing, chasing their own tail, we have the scriptures and we have this mirror. We have this mirror. Oh, you think you're a good person? Uh-huh. Use this as a mirror. Oh, you're actually way worse than you thought you were. But that's okay because God's working in you. God's working in you and giving you the desire to change, to pursue your purpose. I don't mean purpose as in, my purpose is to be a Christian YouTuber. That's not my purpose. My purpose is to know God and make him known in every facet. Being a Christian YouTuber is an assignment for this season. It may not be an assignment for the next season. Your vocation is not your purpose. What you do for money is not your purpose. What you do to feed your family is not your purpose. That's an assignment potentially for a season. Your purpose is to know God, to truly know God, and to make him known. That's your purpose. That's the Christian's purpose. Go make disciples, right? Instructing them to obey everything God has said, everything Jesus taught them. And so if you're going through it right now and it's dark, like it's bad, like the way it was dark for me, it was bad for me, right? Some of y'all come with, it's just too cushy. So you don't care about changing your financial trajectory. You don't care about legacy and generational wealth. You don't care about these things. Cool, man. That ain't my testimony. I come from actual poverty in a communist nation. I'm talking about food rations lining up. I'm not talking about food trucks. I'm talking about food rations. I'm talking about water rations, a bathtub of water that we'd have to share. I really come from that. To come to America, have my dad leave, and then have to be in poverty in America, which, by the way, substantially better than poverty and communism in Russia, let me tell you. So I can't be mediocre. I can't be the guy that has one talent and buries it. I can't do that. That's not how my faith is set up. That's not how my life is set up. I can't. And when it gets bad enough, when the power of staying the same is greater than the power of change, that's when you'll change. That's when you'll change. And if you're hearing this and you're like, it's not bad enough yet, catch this bone, man. Start doing hard things before your life falls apart. Start intentionally doing hard things. Jesus said the road to destruction is wide. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. If you handle your money the way the world handles their money, handle your fitness, your relationship, your faith the way the world handles it, like some sort of goofy accessory, take it up, put it down when it's convenient. If you do that, your life is going to be difficult. That's the road to destruction. If you do what is hard, if you pick up your cross and follow Jesus, if you lay down your life, if you deny yourself, if you delay gratification, if you live your life God's ways, down the road, things will get easier.
Yep, that's what it
down
is.
The road. And if they don't, you'll have the ability to have contentment. You'll have the ability to know that God is the one that you go to for your sustenance, not the world, not your job. But generally speaking, if you live your life God's ways, you will be in God's will. And if you get in God's will, that's that sweet spot, man. That's that sweet spot. And how do you get into God's will? Well, you got to know God's ways. How do you know God's ways? You got to get into God's word. So anyway, hopefully this is encouraging to you guys, man. Let me know what you think about it. I know it's challenging hearing this stuff, but this is why many of us are stuck. This is why many of us are stuck. It's just not bad enough yet. I don't want it to get that bad for you. I really don't. Learn from my mistakes. Please. Avoid see my scars. And don't be the guy that's married having to confess to your wife that you're still gonna. Please don't be like me. Be better.
Hey, this is a segment from our daily after party stream. Consider partnering with us online for as little as $5 a month to get access to these daily after party streams completely unedited. You'll also get access to our podcast.
Well, everybody, that is the live stream here today. Thank y'all for so very, very much for joining me here. It has been a blessing being able to sit down and speak on these things with you guys, to be able to look at this new episode with you guys and see where the gospel is referenced within this series. And it has been a blessing to be able to look at not only what do you mean, but again to look at Ruslan and his content. Where Tim Ross may have made things a bit sketchy, we can definitely see that Ruslan ain't failing us. I'm totally joking because again I'm a remain a fan of Tim Ross, my man right here. Again, what he does on the basement is truly life-changing and is a great ministry that I do still encourage believers to go and check out.